In my session, I'm going to talk about Drupal 18 and the changes we've gone through when we are moving the next version of Drupal. Don't care about the date. As you might know, in Finland, we are 1 month late than Portugal, so it's just normal. I'm sorry. Here's a picture of me when I'm building my first website. It's a few years ago, but yeah, it's me. My username on several places is Lauri, and on Twitter you can find me with almost the same username. If you want to blame me on something or troll me or whatever, just tweet me and I will answer you. People are doing that a lot for me. That sometimes sucks a bit. But let's start with the fact. Drupal 7 Frontend sucks. Thank you, backend developers. We love you. But why? I'm gonna give you example. Here's hamburger.
Sorry, can you remove the mic just a little bit from the mouth?
Yeah. Better?
Yeah.
And I'll move it a bit more.
Yes.
Okay, it's better. So here's an example of hamburger. Hamburger has wrapper and content. In HTML, we have also wrappers and content, and we have a lot of them. So what happens? We have hamburger like this. And of course, we have to have the side order. It's there. There you have it. So the result is something like this. This is the Drupal frontend developers. Yeah. And what happens for the frontend developers is heart attack. Yeah. There's too much stuff. Yeah. Thank you. So, what has changed for Drupal 8 to not cause heart attacks for the frontend developers? A lot. We brought new technologies such as HTML5 and CSS3. Here's an example of HTML5 markup. So we have new elements to make it more accessible, more semantically correct. So we have markup like this, and it's beautiful. And because of HTML5 and CSS3, Drupal 8 won't support anymore IE6, IE7, or IE8, which makes things a lot cleaner. So we don't have to use the last and first classes anymore. We can use instead the NH pseudo selectors. Also, because we have changed the ideology of the frontend in a Drupal 8, we don't have anymore all these classes. As an example, here's no sidebars class, which is meant for the 960 grid system, which we don't have in Drupal 8 anymore. By the way, who uses 960 grid system anymore in 2014? Is there anyone? We have one. Yeah. But you can do it in your team. It's not in core anymore. CSS being built using SMAX and BEM, which creates some structure and architecture on the CSS side, which makes it actually readable. Here's one example of the BEM rules. So we have the field class, and then we have the modifier of field, which is field dash name. So it's field called name. And usually when we have a modifier class, we have both the main class and the modifier class always on the field, on the element, and then you can be sure of what classes you have there, so you don't have to every time check what's happening there. And because of these new architectures, the CSS file structure has been rebuilt. And as you can see, we have a lot of different CSS files that you might not want to have in your page load. So I'm going to show you how you can remove these. Am I not showing? Is my video corrupted? Let's try again. But it stops at 5. Yeah, it's working. Perfect. So what I have to do is edit my info.yaml file and add there few new lines. Style switch, remove, and all the files I want to remove. So after saving and clearing my cache, Drupal doesn't load these CSS files anymore. So you can actually only have the CSS files you want to have. In a Drupal 7 you can do it, but you have to do some hacks, which is a bit weird. Yeah, no more extra CSS files. So now, this is the way in Drupal 8 how you get rid of the side order. But not only the CSS file structure has changed in Drupal 8, but the whole Drupal core file structure has changed. So teamers don't have to spend weeks on trying to locate the location of the team anymore under the sites or where the fuck is my team folder. And the team that I just created in my project is under the teams folder in the Drupal 8 core, Drupal 8 root, which makes a lot of sense for me. And the templates are located currently in the templates folder, which makes also a lot of sense compared to Drupal 7, where we used to have teams folder, templates in the module root, and templates in the templates root. Yeah, so it didn't make any sense. Now the templates are always in the templates folder, and it's easy to find them. And the templates are the default option to be loaded after you create a new hook team implementation. So why we did this is that in a Drupal 8 we don't use team functions anymore almost anywhere. We have, at the moment, actually I checked it today, I forgot to change it to my slide, but we have 20 team functions left, because one got in 2 days ago. So it's 20 functions and 150 templates, instead of Drupal 755 templates and 154 functions. I'm gonna tell later why we've done this, but it's pretty good, because now teamers can find their markup in the templates in the of the theme functions that are written in PHP. Yeah, and why this has happened is that we have completely new theme layer and way of thinking. This is Drupal 7 theme layer. Is there anyone who can come here to tell people how this works? No one? Yeah, it's really easy. Yeah, straightforward. But in Drupal 8, it's more simple, more straightforward. So we have always a pre-process, and then we are basically just loading the template. That's what happens there. Of course, we have some alters there, but you don't have to, in most of the cases, care about those. Because we have the hook team implementation, then we have template pre-process, and then what happens next is the template. Yeah. It's really simple and straightforward. Not more about that, because I don't think that the teamers care about the theme layer. They just care about their templates. And the templates in Drupal 8, as I guess some of you know already, are written in Twig instead of PHP. And I'm gonna give you, yeah, I have reason why we've done this is in a PHP it's really easy to do bad stuff in the templates. And teamers can do that a lot because they don't understand PHP. And this is what we used to have in the PHP templates. Job database and then go back. Yeah. In Drupal 7 you can do that actually without even putting it to template. You can run it on any site, just running it to URL. It's really good stuff. Yeah, remember to update your sites if you want to remove that functionality. Yeah, it's not good. But we don't want to have this kind of stuff because front-end developers rule. So I want to give you the basics of Twig in under 5 minutes because I know there's people who can do Twig because they've been using Twig in Drupal 7 because it's possible, and people who might have been using Twig in other systems than Drupal. So this is first only the Twig stuff that is not Drupal. Here's example of the syntax in a PHP and Twig. In a PHP, we just print the variable with the $sign. In Twig, we have the curly brackets, and then there's the variable name. It's very straightforward. And then there's also a simple example of a simple comment. You can set the variables in your Twig templates. It's really easy. You can set arrays, strings, whatever. You can access your arrays actually very easily instead of what we had in Drupal 7, because in Drupal 7, teamers had to know what's the difference between objects and arrays, and they had to understand that there's the stuff for in all languages. In Drupal 8, you don't have to care about that anymore because we have only the variables contains the stuff for the current language version that you are shown to the visitor, and all the objects and arrays are both accessed the same way. So it's always just a dot. So it's a lot simpler for the teamers to understand how to access their stuff. In Drupal 7, I'm pretty sure that teamers have spent a lot of time on trying to figure out how to access the data. They know that the data is there, but they don't know how to get it, because it's just too complex. And teamers should spend their time on other stuff than thinking how PHP works. If you want to find your stuff in Twig, we have a dump function in a Twig. If you just run dump function without any parameters, it returns all the available variables from your Twig template. In Drupal, at least I cannot run this pretty well because we have so many variables in our templates, so I ran out of memory. I tried it with 1 GB memory and it wasn't enough. But at least if you're creating your own template where you don't have that many variables, it should be possible to use this. But you can set parameters so you can set variables you want to debug as a parameters for the dump function, and then it returns only the content of the specific variable. And that is the way it should be, and in most of the cases is being used. Because in the core templates we have the documentation for the available variables anyway. Of course, you can do for loops in the Twig. This is just a simple example of a for loop. I'm not going to go deeper. I'm going to show you why it's cool. It's cool because you get all this loop stuff straight after adding the loop into your template. So you don't have to do any math in your template, which is awesome. You can just say loop length, which returns the length of the loop. And you can say loop first, which is true if you are on the first item of the loop. You have loop last, which is true if you are on the last item of the loop. And loop index returns the current item you are accessing from the array. And you can do all different kind of tests there. And here's, by the way, a very cool example I found one day of how you can do empty text in a for loop. You can just say for, then you do all the logic you want to do in your for loop, and you don't close the for loop, you just say else. So if there's no items in the user's array, then we print else, and then there is the no results found text. So actually in a big day, the developers have thought all the different kind of things that the teamers might run into. So you don't have to write any if uses empty kind of logic there. You can just do it straight in the for loop. Then we have some Twig stuff that is not in PHP but in Twig. We have filters. We have different kind of filters which is meant just to manipulate the content of the variable or the text you are giving to the filter. So here's upper filter, which is meant to just make your text uppercase. Here's another example of a filter, which is length filter, and it just returns the length of the variable. Really simple. Here's all the available filters that come straight from the Twig. Then we have Twig blocks, which are also a very good functionality on Twig that you cannot do in PHP easily. It's different thing than Drupal blocks, but they have almost the same name. So I call them just Twig blocks. What is happening? Okay, let's continue. I'm sorry, backenders, setting up a fire alarm is not enough to cancel Frontend session. I'm sorry. So let's go again. I was talking about Twig blocks in Twig, and I'm not sure I remember what I did tell you, but I'm gonna start again from this time. So Twig blocks are different than Drupal blocks, even though they are sharing the same name. Twig blocks in Twig are meant to create architecture for the templates. So in a block, if you have a block in your Twig template, it's possible in an overriding template, override specific area of the template. So in this example, I'm adding to my page.html Twig template a blog called header blog, including text, this blog needs more kittens. And on my front page, I want to add the text kitten there. So what I'm doing, I'm telling to the Twig that I'm extending the Twig template page HTML Twig, and then I'm adding the header block there. And I'm printing the parent just to add all the content from the parent block, and then I'm adding my custom text there. I have example there of this. I think I'm gonna move this a bit forward because we are running out of time. So here I'm creating the header block for the page HTML Twig template. I'm adding the text, we need more kittens. So this block should be visible on all the pages. Let's see. Yeah, it's on the front page and it should be on the other pages also. But on the front page, I want to override it. In a Drupal 7, if you want to override your templates, you have to override the whole template. And then if you want to make changes for all different templates, you have to change them for all the templates manually. And that's really hard to maintain. So now I'm creating new templates. So as you might saw, I didn't copy the original template there because I don't want to have other content than my blog. So I'm in my Twig template, I'm saying that I'm extending the page HTML Twig file in Druid FI theme and adding my content there. And yeah, I cannot add anything more than the blog. If I add anything more than the blog, it will run into fatal error, so it doesn't work at all. So it's only possible to add blocks into extending templates. And as you can see on the front page, we have now the kitten text. Really simple. I'm gonna now move again a bit forward. Now I'm gonna show you what's the cool thing in this. Now I want to add some text for all the pages because of my customer wants to have it. So my customer wants to have some text on all the different pages. So I can just edit my main page template, and as you can see, I'm on the front page, and I still have the text there, even though I have to override the template there. It's pretty cool. If you want to hear more stuff about Twig, just go to Sensio Labs Twig documentation, and this, all I told in this section, is possible to find from there. You don't like Twig? We have solution, of course. You can use PHP template in Drupal 8. Just add engine PHP template into your info YAML file, and then you can add your PHP templates and run your MySQL queries in your templates. No problem. If you are a backend developer and you want to do a thing, you can use PHP. Then we have, of course, some Drupal-specific Twig functionalities in Drupal. So this is Drupal, and you cannot do this in any system using Twig. While we have been integrating Twig into Drupal, we have been very gentle for Twig. We have tried to not remove anything from Twig, to not mess up the experience of the Twig developers from other systems. So Twig developers from Symfony projects or wherever can use the stuff they used to use in a Drupal also. But of course, because we are Drupal, we have some Drupal-specific functionalities. And here's a few examples. We have filters that are specifically for Drupal. We have clean class, we have fill, we have placeholder. Clean class is meant to clean a variable to a class. So if there's any special characters, they will be converted to dashes. There might be some other functionalities, I'm not sure, but it's just meant to change variables to classes. We have also clean ID, but we are not using it that much in Drupal. Then we have also without, which is also pretty cool because you can just print the array without actually printing something from the array. So I want to print this contributors array without myself because I suck sometimes also. So I'm printing everyone else but not me. Then there's also this placeholder, which is meant for it's a placeholder as it says, but here I have this empty variable stuff. As you can see, I'm not setting it anywhere, and I'm printing it what happens? We print kitten. That is the parameter of the placeholder. But very simple, an easy way to, again, create some helpful stuff for themers to not make if logic to the templates. The returns text is not visible, but I guess you can see that I have here Lauri /Druid that converts using clean class to Lauri -Druid, and so it's class. And then there's the contributors, and there's no Lauri. And the stuff is missing from the returns, but it just returns kitten. Here's one more really good thing in Twig, that is HTML attributes, which is basically meant to manage the HTML attributes somehow. Because normally we just set them there, and there's no actually good method to remove them or set them later on. So we have set attribute, which is meant to set other attributes than classes. So you can set ID to kitten. If there's ID that is set before, it overrides it. You can also remove attributes, which is also a very common situation. I want to remove IDs, then I just write remove attribute and set ID as the parameter, and it removes it. We have also add class, which is meant to add classes. So we have really simple way to take care of the classes in the Drupal 8 templates. And we are printing almost all the classes this way. So if you want to remove your own classes, it's really easy. Here's a remove class, which is meant to remove classes. Here's a vegetarian backend developer. I know there is some. And the backend developer I don't like adds carrots and potatoes. I want to replace them with something that I like more. And in my example, I'm removing carrots and potatoes and adding bacon and beef instead. And that way, the stupid backend developers' classes can be removed and replaced really easily. Thank you. And backend developers don't rule anymore our world. Of course, because we are a Drupal, we have translation everywhere. You can translate your content that you are setting in the Twig template also. So we have D functions and trans block. And you can use also placeholders. Here's two examples which that's the same thing. The first example has a username placeholder, which will be replaced with the username variable. And in the trans block, we are printing the same thing, but we just add username in the curly brackets, just like we do when we print variables normally. So this is how we do stuff there. We have also added some special functionality for Twig to make debugging easier. So you don't actually have to guess anymore where your templates come from. So after turning on your Twig debug, I'm going to show you how it happens. You get these kind of blocks into your markup. What you can see there is the file name suggestions, which are the file names that will override the current template you're using. And then we are also printing the current template where we are printing the markup. It makes themers' life easier. So here I have example of markup. I have no idea where it's coming from. It's just normal markup. This is what the situation looks like in Drupal 7. But in the services.yaml, I set debug rule, which starts printing those debug blocks to my markup. Then I set also auto reload and cache to different values just to make the Twig files load automatically. I don't know why I have to do this, but yeah. I think it's because the Twig files are being translated to PHP from Twig, yeah. My English is a bit crappy, so I have to think a bit. But here is the debug blocks I get. Now I have more ideas where my markup is coming from. So this is a very simple debug block which tells me all the information about the block. And as you can see, we are at the moment loading the second highest priority template, if I want to replace it, I have to use blog-my navigation.html twig, and it's the only one replacing it. Yeah. If you want this same functionality to Drupal 7, there's issue for that. The issue is actually at the moment RTBC, so I think we are getting it in hopefully pretty soon. So you don't have to guess in Drupal 7 anymore. So people get something out of Drupal 8 development also. What we've done also in Drupal 8 is deep template cleanup. We've cleaned the markup at all. We have done it using VIM because we are real hackers, as you can see in my examples. Yeah. So while we've done this, we've made even Morten DK rock YT. I don't know if everyone knows Morten DK, but he's one of the most strict person in the world of his markup. He's very strict on what he's doing. And what we've done, we've merged pager template into one single template. How many of you have tried to team pagers in Drupal 7? Was it easy? No, yeah. In Drupal 8, it's really easy. I'm going to show you how I create my dream markup for pager in under 3 minutes. In 2 minutes, I think. So I'm going to check from my Twig debug blog which file I need to copy. So in the system modules, we have the pager template. So I'm going to copy it. This is, by the way, faster 10 times because I'm really slow in typing. So now I have my pager template in my team. I'm going to remove all the elements from there because I only want to have simple links there. I don't need anything else. I don't need the LIs or anything. So what I have to do, I just remove the markup from there because it's in one template. It's really simple. Oops. I have to have the isActive class, of course, on my links because I still want to be able to team them. So it used to be on the LI, but now I'm moving it to the link. So I'm just using the class and simple variable there. Then I'm removing some more LIs. Yeah, bye-bye LIs. I don't have to see you anymore. I don't know why we have those in Drupal 8. Maybe someone knows, but I seriously don't have to care about it because I can fix it in under 2 minutes. So it's no problem anymore. Here I have my pager and my dream markup. As you can see, only is. Oops, I think I made a mistake. I have multiple isActive classes there. Okay, I have to fix this. Yeah, I'm a really crappy developer, as you can see. I don't understand anything. Let's go. Here, I'm gonna, I have to just set empty variable there to fix my multiple isActive classes. Yeah, it works. One other example of clean templates is menu. How many of you have had hard times while teaming menus in Drupal 7? Not that many? Yeah. You have to install modules and stuff to make it easy in Drupal 7. But this is how I create my clean markup for menus. And this also happens in a few minutes. It's so easy that it's ridiculously easy. I think Drupal developers will be losing jobs because they don't have to have hard time on doing stuff anymore. But it's good because we might get more teamers into our world because this is something that you can actually understand. So I want to set my menu class to C menu because I consider it as a component. I want to also add new class for each of the different menu levels just to make it easier to team. So one template which contains everything. I changed 2 lines of code and now I have my dream classes and everything there. Here's the menu level. Here's the C menu class. By the way, there's the leaf class. I don't want to have it. So let's remove that also, because who uses the leaf class for anything? I hope no one. So let's remove it. In Drupal 8, it's really easy. Just add remove class leaf, and it should go away. I'm clearing my cache because I didn't have the auto reload on them, but now you can see no more leave tasks anymore. Awesome. Here's my dream markup for menu. I think we should give a round of applause for all the people who have been working on these two issues. We have one of them here. Yeah. Thank you, Adam. This is for the backend developers I'm sure we have here. In Drupal 7, we have introduced new thing, auto-escape. And the idea is that we auto-escape all the things. And what we have introduced there is something I could call context-aware auto-escaping. Okay, it sounds better than it actually is, but that's what it is for me. Every time a variable goes to the template, we run a most appropriate escaping function. And here's the different escape functions we have. We have isSafe, we have escape, and check admin accesses. isSafe basically only sets the text as a safe. What that means, it's not escape at all. And you shouldn't use it almost everywhere. If you want to just set one beer tag to your markup, you can use isSafe for that. Then we have escape, which is the true real escape function, which escapes everything else. It's like check plain. Then we have check admin accesses, which we actually introduced very lately, just to have something between isSafe and escape. Check admin accesses checks all the malvaro's markup from the string away. So we escape string tags and stuff like that away, but nothing else. And here's an example how the escape method works. So first we check if the variable has been set as safe before. And if it has been set before as safe, then we just return simply the markup we have, the content we have there. And if not, then we just check plain and return that. Really simple. If you use the escape function, you shouldn't run into double auto-escaping issues. But if something like, it's really easy to break, because if you manipulate the content you have later, it's not marked as safe anymore. So if you escape your string and you change it after that, it will not be auto-escape. It will be auto-escape again, and then you have double auto-escaping issues. So remember to run it just right before you are putting it into your template if you want to do it manually. And yeah, this is for the backend. This was for the backend developers. I don't want to talk more for you. Now I want to talk. This is the real thing that the front-end developers should care about. It's our plan how we are going to fix the Drupal 8 frontend for before release. This is all the stuff we are working on now. And in Austin, we created two phase plan. First, move all the classes to templates, which is done. So all the classes are now in templates. And the step 2 is to move those templates, including the classes, to new core team. So in a page 1, we created these kind of blocks into our templates. And if you want to remove your classes, you don't even have to use the remove class anymore. You can just do this, and it's all gone. It took me 2 seconds. That's really cool. And here I have also a very good example of how theming will be in Drupal 8. This is the same thing again, but I just want to make you understand how awesome this is. So here I'm going to edit my node template I have in my team. I don't want to have this node class because I don't need it for anything. Then I'm going to change the node for content because I think it's more describing for me, because nodes are content for me. Then I'm going to change the node promoted to is promoted and node sticky to is sticky to make it more sense. I don't need the view mode class, so let's just remove it. Let's see what I have after changing this. I should have only the classes I changed there. What is happening? Yeah, I have only my content type page class, which is pretty cool. Let's just check what happens if I set my content as sticky. It should show me that the content is sticky as a class. Let's see what happens. Yeah, there's my sticky class. It's working. And this is how we clean our own classes in our own templates we have in our own teams. Really simple, really easy to understand. In a page 2, we created new team classes. Here's a picture of the idea. So if you want to have the base classes in your team, then you just extend classy-based team we have in core. So classy is a very simple team, only including classes. In a core, we don't have any more classes. So if you want to have your custom team without any markup from the core, then you just create your own team without extending classy. This is how it looks in the core. So the 7 and Bartik teams both are extending classy to get the classes from there. Then we have Star, which is not extending classy to not get classes. And what it will change is that all the class objects is in classy, so no classes from core. And even the automated tests is now being changed to use classy, which is nice, because there's no markup at all in the core anymore. And the idea is that we can simplify the core markup even more, because we don't want to have any unnecessary digs or other elements there without any IDs or classes. So we can just remove everything from there, and what core basically brings is only the content. Remember, if you are creating a new team, remember to extend classy, because otherwise, after we've moved all the teams, all the templates from a core to classy, you will lose all your classes and your team will be completely broken. Yeah, you don't want that to happen to you. I have one more bonus for you, and one more keeping picture. We don't have any more hard-coded menu in the templates, it's blob. And we have no more hard-coded logo, which is also blob. Yeah, if you want to help us, RC1 means markup freeze, so we cannot do that much after it. But there's still plenty of time till RC1. We have sprints tomorrow, where you can come to help us. More information you can find from the Drupalcamp website. Come there, we will help you out, help you get started. If you haven't been sprinting ever before, we have a lot of easy tasks to get started. And it's going to be a lot of fun, I can promise. We will also have Frontend United both right after this session in the other building. We are going to talk about the sprints and other stuff and have a lot of fun there. There's also going to be Drupalcamp both later on at 4. You can come there if you're interested in Drupalcamp. Thank you for listening, and if you have any questions, you can ask me. But any questions? Yeah?
Just a small comment. The Twig debug functionality issue is already been pushed to Drupal 7.33, which has been released yesterday.
Okay, thank you for updating me. I'm a Finnish person and I'm living the last month still, so how could I know it? Yeah, thank you for your comment. Anything else? Anything from the backend developers? No more fire alarms?
I have a question.
Yeah?
Has anyone figured out what direction we should give to content module developers when they develop modules with templates in, if they should have classes in or no classes? Should they behave like Stark or classy?
That's a very good question. We've had a few discussions of that thing, but the idea at the moment is that we shouldn't create the theming classes in the modules. We should only create the classes that are part of some functionality. But it's really hard to maintain because the contributors can do whatever they want, but the standard would be something like do not add classes that are not needed for the functionality you have on JavaScript or whatever. Anything else? Also there's actually, yeah, just a second. I have something more to say. We have also had discussions that we could create a team which would contain templates from the contribs, and people could download from their example templates to their own teams to it would be like concrete version of classy. Yeah.
So what will happen when the variable name that you want to address in your Twig template has a hashtag? Because I know there is an issue about that
Yeah, that's a really good question. The question was that what happens if you have hashtag in a variable name? Actually, we are trying to avoid in Drupal 8 using hashtags in the variable names, but it's not possible in all the cases because of the rendering. Then you have to use another syntax to access your array, and it's just the same way you do it in PHP.
Okay, so it will be a custom exception in your Twig template that you should know about, the only funkiness about it, and it will not be solved by naming the objects in your...
Yeah, it should be solved by naming. Do not use the hashtag. We have one issue, that is to try to load the variable with the hashtag if no variable is found with the name, if no variable is found. So, but it's something that I think we cannot achieve, because I checked how Twig works and how it loads the variables, and it's not very simple. It's very simple to do, and we are already on the beta phase, so I don't think it's possible anymore. So what I would suggest to do, not to use hashtags. And in later versions where the rendering will be changed to something else than what is now, there shouldn't be need for using the hashtags anymore. So I think we are going to leave it as is, and then people have to struggle with it, and then later on when the rendering will be changed, the trouble will be gone by changing it. Yeah. Anything more? Yeah.
How hard would you rate it to be an upgrade from a team from Drupal 7 to 8?
Yeah.
The scale of hardness.
Yeah. The question was how hard would I measure upgrading a Drupal 7 team to Drupal 8, and there actually is there was some tool to upgrade your Drupal 7 team to Drupal 8, but because of the way we do things in Drupal 8 has changed a lot from Drupal 7, I don't think there's never going to be a working tool for migrating your team from Drupal 7 to Drupal 8. I'm sorry, but I cannot say how hard. It completely depends on the use case. If you have very simple theme without not that many overrides, it might work with only changing the CSS. But if you have a lot of templates, a lot of overriding theme functions that we don't have anymore, then you have to write a lot of stuff when upgrading your team to Drupal 8. Because we don't have the theme functions anymore, and they are templates now. So I would say I would say that in most of the cases when you have a very complex team, it would be your complete rewrite of the team. Yeah. So the hardness, of course, then depends on the stuff you have on your team. But one good thing is that I think that Drupal 8 team layer and teaming in Drupal 8 sites will be a lot easier than in Drupal 7. So it can be harder than what it was in Drupal 7. Yeah. Anything else? No more questions? Yeah.
What happens if you use a variable and it's empty?
Nothing.
Or it's not set?
Nothing happens.
It's just left as an empty string.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything. Yeah. You can also call unexisting objects and whatever. It shouldn't cause any troubles because we are using Twig safe mode.
Is there any way to check for error the typing errors if you just type the variable wrong and so it always looks empty and
you can use the DOM, of course, to get all the available variables.
No, I mean maybe we have a mode where it complains if something is empty.
Yeah, we don't have anything like that. Yeah, you can use the DOM for that. That's I think that is what it's used for. You can also check if it's empty. I guess I think there's also a way to check if it's not set.
Yeah, the idea was more that if you make a typo and just write the variable wrong, and it just thinks, oh, that's probably just an empty.
Yeah.
It just makes an empty string. And
Yeah, it doesn't give any error or message if you are printing a variable that doesn't exist. More questions? I'm happy to answer all questions. Maybe some questions about my last night. Okay, thank you.